most women always have heavy flow, okay, during their periods. Like whenever they're seeing their period, it's going to be heavy. Now, how do you even know if you have a heavy flow? Everything and the causes, okay, are going to be discussed in today's video. So if you're new here, you're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so happy to have you here. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please consider doing so, okay? And also hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you will notify anytime I upload a new video. You're welcome. And all my channel subscribers, I'm so glad to have you back again. Today we are talking about heavy flow, what causes it, how you will know that you already have a heavy flow, and what to do, okay? The best treatment for this particular issue. Everything will be discussed in today's video, so stick around, okay? Now, first, let's look at how you will even find out if you have heavy flow, because most times we think that we have heavy flow while we don't, okay? Now, there are a few things that will help you to understand if you have a heavy flow. When you are having your periods with so much cloth, what I mean by so much cloth, not the one that maybe you have used your pad, you put your pad for some hours, and then you notice that there are a few clots there. That might be your blood, okay, the blood that has been discharged, which has cloth there. That one is normal. But what I mean is when you are releasing a lot of clots of blood during your cycles, okay, this might be another thing. Or when your period is lasting heavily for more than 7 days, this is another thing that might be pointing that you always have a heavy flow, okay? Or when you're having pains during this period, because most times when you're releasing or when you're having clots of blood during your period, it might accompany with pains, okay? You might be experiencing pains with this particular one. So this is another thing that might be showing you that you have a heavy flow. Or you need to change your pad within 2 to 3 hours. You have filled, like the pad is already full, you need to change it immediately. This is another thing that might be pointing out that you have a heavy flow. Now, what are the causes? What are the causes of this heavy flow? Number one thing you should understand is that during the time you're starting your periods, like during the teens level, you are going to experience higher, like your period is going to be heavy most of the time. Why? Because your hormones are not well balanced, they are not well normalized. You mostly have higher estrogen around this time. The progesterone is not yet there to, like, they are not yet balanced, okay? So that might be the reason, because the estrogen thickens the uterine wall very thick to the extent that whenever you're seeing your period, it's going to discharge all this uterine wall that has been thickened by the estrogen, okay? So that's why during the teens you experience heavier periods, okay? Now, but we are talking about, you know that you are not in your teens, but you're having a very heavy flow. Now, the causes might be when you have growth, okay? If you know that you don't have any growth, like uterine fibroids, uterine polyps, or cancer of any kind, like you don't have any growth of any kind, then another thing that might be the cause might be when you have endometritis, okay? Endometritis is when your endometrium is not healthy, right? So this might be another reason why you're having a very heavy flow. If you don't have any growth in your reproductive areas, then this might be another thing, okay? This might be another thing. Now, if you don't have endometritis, another thing you should look into is thyroid issues, like thyroid issues, because your thyroid regulates most of these things that happens, like your menses, your ovulation, and all that. So if you have thyroid issues, this might cause a heavy flow. Now, let's say you don't have all these things I mentioned. Now, another thing you should look into, which is very common, which has caused a lot of women having heavy flow, is hormonal imbalance. Yes, because when you have higher estrogen, okay, and the progesterone is not normal to balance this might make the because the estrogen helps your uterine wall to thicken, but when it's very excessive, that means your your endometrium will thicken more than the way it should be, and that is why your period during the time you're releasing your endometrium, like the endometrium is being released, is going to release everything that is there, right? Because it's thicker, the everything, or your period is going to be heavier. Okay, I don't know if you're understanding me. So this is another thing that you should look into. Okay, when you don't have thyroid issues, then excessive estrogen might be another thing. That is hormonal imbalance. Another thing that might be the cause of heavy flow is when you're having PCOS. Yes, PCOS is another thing that might cause this heavy flow. You remember that when you have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, there are cysts in your ovaries, and this might be another thing that is causing this heavy flow. Okay, so the next other thing is when you are coming off IUD, like intrauterine device, or you are on it already, this can also cause a heavy flow most of the time for some women, not all. Okay, this is another thing. So these are the things you should look into. Now, let's say you have seen all these things that you don't have all these things. I'm not saying that might be causing this is when you are stressed, well, you are emotionally stressed, or even physically stressed. These things might be another reason why you're having heavy flow. So any changes in your system can even affect how your period is going to come. Okay, because these hormones react to how you feel. So you need to be happy for your progesterone and your estrogen to work in good balance. Okay, so that's another thing you should look into. Now, we have talked about the causes of this particular issue. What can you do during this particular period when you are having a very heavy flow? Now, you need to make sure that you are using a particular pad that is very thick, okay, just so that you will not wet yourself, okay, feel uncomfortable. So you need a pad that is very thick. Now, if you're living here in Nigeria, there's one particular pad that you can use that will be very nice. Something like Lady Care, okay? Lady Care will suit you when you have a heavy flow, but make sure that it's not the shorter one, okay? You have longer and shorter heavy flow. So if shorter pad, okay? So if you're having heavy flow, you make sure that you get the longer or Lady Care, okay? That one is longer and thicker. You feel more comfortable, especially in the night. Another thing, another part that I will also recommend is Always, okay? Yeah, Always is another part that will be very conducive for this particular issue, okay, when you're having a heavy flow. But make sure it's the thicker one. You still have two types, okay? So make sure that you inquire to get the thicker one, the longer one. That one is better, or Vironi. But make sure you go any part, in fact, that you're going for. Look for the longer and the thicker one. That one will be better, okay? I have a very nice part that I would recommend you guys to look into, okay? This is one part I have been using for long, and I'm so proud to be talking about it, okay? This part is called 7 layers, okay? 7 layers part is very, very health good, okay, health wise for you when you're having any kind, in fact, when you are seeing your periods, okay, whether you're having heavy flow or you are having normal flow, this particular part is perfect for you. But then when you are getting it, also find out if you have a heavy flow, so that you know the one you will go for. But this part has antibacterial properties that will help you avoid itching, avoid odor when you're using it, okay? You know, when you are on your period and you're like, what do I do to help get rid of odor and all that? This pad is there for you, and it will also help keep that place healthy, okay? Keep your vagina very much healthy, help to regulate even your pH level, okay? This part is my comfort zone, okay? I love this part so badly, like I can't even, like, I don't even know where to start to talk about how good this part is. Nothing like itching and all that, okay? That is one I will recommend you to try. Okay, if you try it, you will actually come back here to thank me. Okay, now let's look at what you need to do. The first thing you need to do when you're having heavy flow is to actually go see your doctor. When you know that this thing has happened for like 2 to 3 times or even more than, please go and see your doctor. Why I said you should wait until when you experience this more than once before you can go to see your doctor is, what if around this time you're having your heavy flow? It might be because of how stressed you were, okay, or how your emotions has been, you know, whether you have been very much traumatized and all that. This might affect your periods. But then that's why I said if it happens more than once, then please go and meet your doctor. They will look into the reason. They will want to find out exactly the reason, to see how your endometrium is, if it is healthy, see if you have any growth, and then they will know where to. So the treatment should be based on what exactly is the problem, okay? What exactly is the problem? Even if it's being emotionally down or, you know, being traumatized and all that, they will look into that particular issue. That is where your treatment is going to come from, okay? So what if you have any growth? That is where your treatment is going to come from. And finding out on time will still be better. Don't say God forbid, it's not my portion. But then you need to go and find out. Nobody has this in mind. Nobody deserves this. But then finding out about these things on time is better, even if you're not praying for that. But going for checkups when you found out that something is different, something is not normal, is the best. Because most of the times this thing might hide in your body. Okay, you might be having an imbalance in your hormones, and it will disturb you. Now when you're growing older, it will start disturbing you. It will start creating extra health issues. Okay, so those things you should look into when you're having this kind of issue, to actually know that the best thing is to meet your doctor, so that you talk with your doctor to find out the solution. Okay, because heavy flow most of the times is not normal. Okay, so if it is normal, they will actually assess your body and know, and they will tell you that, oh, this is absolutely normal. Okay, this is you, and this is how your hormones are. Okay, see what you do to deal with it, or see what you need to do. Okay, they will be there to help you. First, you're discussing with them. Okay, they will be there to help you. So that is it for today's video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. All my returning subscribers, I'm so happy to have you. See you guys in my next video.